That guy's good, man. Hi, Lisa, Chris, and Kathy. Welcome. I hope you like that little piece of percussion. I don't think I can get in trouble because most of these percussion pieces, I don't think they're copyrighted. That would take more drummers have the ability to do, right? So I think I was safe. I don't think I will be banned in North Korea or muted in North Korea or whatever happens. So hey, it's 6:02. It's May 25th. It is 2021. And this, my friends, is Law and Disorder with your host, Ken Goldberg. I forgot to turn the lights on. We'll struggle for a moment. Anyways, welcome, welcome. Let me get right into the meat of this. Some good stuff. There is no meat, man. I chewed it all off the bone already. You ain't getting squat. You go out, eat with me. You lucky you get to eat your own food. Because I eat mine so fast, I will turn around and eat yours while you're still watching me eat my food so fast, your mind is blown. Ah, yeah. All right. Hope we got outside this afternoon. Well, not really, Chris. Thank you. For those of you on YouTube, I'm talking to Chris over on Facebook. I can talk to you too if you're there. Yeah, Chris, no, we went out to lunch at 11:30. We had a luncheon with some friends, and it started pouring minutes before the streets were flooded. So we just did some shopping and came back, and no, didn't get out. Didn't get out. So maybe tomorrow. Ricky's been he's been a good guy about it, but he's done a lot of work while he's here. So he's been he spent a couple hours zooming in on some training, 23 miles. Go ahead, rub it in, dude. So he did a couple hours of training in Illinois. And he also, he volunteered to work on replace the damaged part of the ceiling in my garage, and then he got to painting it, and then he got to painting some damaged part of the wall in there, and then we went through my toolbox and we cleaned out my toolbox, and we got stuff done. We didn't do nothing, but we didn't do a lot of something. Hey, Becky, 6 miles. All right. Now, Becky, we all need to get on down to White Rock and go around a couple of times. Electricity. Costs less today, than it did many long years ago. A little birdie told me so. So, for a guy like me who's got a voice of gravel to bust out in an ad from the 50s and sing it requires a certain amount of chutzpah. And if there's anything I got some of, yo, baby, I got some chutzpah. All right? That's Yiddish. That's Yiddish for he got some nerve, man, because I know my voice sounds like, like I said, it sounds like gravel, right? So if I'm singing, somebody's dying somewhere, right? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody hears me singing and they're like, but that don't stop me. No, man, because I got, right? Still, I show up here every night for 45 minutes, completely unprepared, except for having picked out 3 or 4 songs that I'm playing. I'm not even playing. Okay, I'm just posting. Where do I get the nerve? My God, I swear. So let me tell you about today's music selection. So the first recording artist to do What the World Needs Now Is Love was not, oh my God, Dionne Warwick. It was Jackie DeShannon. I didn't know that. A year before Dionne Warwick did it, Jackie DeShannon did it. So I posted what appears to be the first version, okay? And then I'm thinking, are we talking old time? What's old time? Jackson 5, old time, man. I want you back, right? And then I want to tell you about the Supreme song, Stoned Love. All right. Now, I don't know how many of you know enough about this, but this is a little bit of an explanation. Kathy will know about this. Okay. Having a gravelly voice that is, what happened to my screen? Come back, come back. Um, Man, something just went wrong. No, I don't want to do that. Why are you popping up on my screen? Get off my screen. Having a gravelly voice, that is. It never stopped. Oh, Tom Waits has a gravelly voice. Got it. Got it. Didn't know what was going on. Thought the man had lost his mind. All right. So let me tell you about Stone Love. So Kathy Corsi will know this. On the south side of Chicago, and I've told you this, I'm going to reiterate it. There was a gang called the Blackstone Rangers. And the Blackstone Rangers had all the gangs in Chicago have gang signs, gang salutations, etc. We grew up in the shadow of the Blackstone Rangers, and they had that thing was a stone to the bone. And then so what they would do is they would make a fist, bring it across their chest like this, and go stone love. See, Ricky's doing it, but he wouldn't do it when he was a kid, because if he did that when he was a kid, we would slap him. Why would we slap him? Because if he used any gang identification whatsoever, he would put a target on his back, right? Okay, so and he went through multiple gang territory to go from home to Lincoln Park High School. So we had to be very cautious and try to teach Ricky to keep his mouth shut. Don't be doing any of this or that, or, you know. All right, so the Stones, Blackstone Rangers, we call them the Stones, they did like this. The Disciples did like this, okay? Lisa said hi. Hi, Lisa. So here, I'm a stone to the bone. I'm a D to the knee. I'm a sex machine. You know what I mean? Now watch me now while I do my thing. Okay, now I could say that. I could say that, but if you were a stone and you said I'm a stone to the bone, a D to a knee, well, you was going to get an ass whipping, because you can't be them both, right? Anyways, I digress. Let me get back to the story. So the Supremes come out with a song called Stone Love. You'll listen to it after the show. Stone Love. Ooh, bad timing, man. I'm sure the Supremes, probably in Detroit, had no clue what they were doing. Well, here's what happens. So I was running events at a local church when I was about 17, 18 years old, at the Blue Gargoyle, which was the University Church for the Disciples of Christ. And they had given us a one night a week to hold dances or concerts and stuff like that. We brought in some local jazz musicians, and we put tablecloths on the tables in the coffee parlor, coffee house, yeah. We put them candles, and we charged kids, like 50 cents. They came and listened to professional jazz musicians. Well, we decided to have a dance up on the second floor. There was an auditorium. And I had a friend of mine, DJ, okay? And he puts on Stoned Love by the Supremes. It was a hit at the time. Not thinking, man, because the Rangers got up. The Blackstone Rangers were like, they jump up and they're like, Stone Love, and they're, and the rest of the dance like, oh, damn, the Stones have just made themselves known. And there are always in this church, when we have kids there, there's always disciples too, because we're right on the border. So if you kept it low key, it was fine. But in this case, the song Stone Love triggered an outpouring of, yeah, right? So they jump up, Stone Love. So we know this is not cool, because two things. If you get associated as being gang territory, then you are inviting trouble. And we were known for our neutrality. So we had to suppress this before it got out of control. So I dispatched Tiny out onto the dance floor to bring things down a notch. And he did. And we got the song off. And we never play that again. But I can assure you that at parties that the Blackstone Rangers ran, I can guarantee they were playing the heck out of that song. It's a good song, anyways. And like I say, it was their refrain. As I began to work with street gangs, I can tell you this is the representation of the Latin kings, the crown, 3 point of the crown. Okay. So, and this was the Puerto Rican stones, and this was the Latin eagles, right? Bird in flight. Everybody had their colors, everybody had their gestures, and you had to be careful. Ricky claims that when we would drive around and he was a kid, um, he says that if kids threw up gang signs that I didn't particularly know, we'd be driving down the street. He claims I would get out of the car and yell at them and ask them what the you think you're doing, crazy. I had a lot of work cut out for me from 77, 78, 79, working with these kids because I remember this one kid, really nice guy, and he wasn't a gang kid. He shouldn't be a gang kid. He and his sister would come up to the community center. So I spent the afternoons usually at the community center. I went to the high school at lunchtime, hung out because that's where all the kids were. I go back to my office and do paperwork for a few hours, open the gym up. Kids would come by and help out, lots of volunteer kids. And then I'll never forget when this kid showed up with a t-shirt said Puerto Rican stones. And I said, well, what are you doing, man? What is your problem? You're neutral. As long as you're neutral, you can talk your way out most of the time, right? If you're not neutral, so he's like, well, the Latin eagles tried to jump me, and the stones came to my defense. And I said, well, they came to your defense. Groovy, man. Leave it go. And he felt a obligation to begin to represent. And I said, well, what you doing now? Before, the Latin eagles see you, maybe they chase you, they jump on you. Now you wear that shirt, you go out, you walk around. Anybody from any gang, other than the one whose shirts you represent, thinks to themselves, I'm going to get that punk. So now you don't just have the Latin eagles, you got the kings, you got the insane unknowns, you got the popes, you got the gaylords. You need to take that shirt and get rid of it. I don't remember what happened. My memory does not serve me well. All right. So Stone Love. That song it's got some significance. And then, once you're on the Supremes, then you want to go with, Where Did Our Love Go? 1964, one of their earliest hits. Just because. You just do that. So here's the thing. I said I was going to explain the theme to you. The theme is no theme. What a surprise. Night after night, I come here, I turn on the computer, I have music loaded up for you, which I can't play because I'll get shut down. I'll get, copyright infringements. But I show up anyways. I show up and I'm just full of piss and vinegar, and I'm singing, I'm gesticulating, and I'm matriculating, and it's like it's a 3-ring circus with 1 ring. Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's like, listen, one more time. It's like a 3-ring circus with only 1 ring. That's how animated I am. And I do it to keep you smiling. Because if you ain't smiling, one of 2 things. Either I'm not entertaining, or I'm talking about Republicans. Okay? When I'm talking about Republicans, I don't expect a smile, right? For instance, I posted a thing about shooting, and then I decided that with all these shootings, one after another, the numbers are absolutely amazing, right? And you all know that I was a gun advocate. So I did a thing of that song, What the World Needs Now Is Love. That's why I came up, right? That was really what started with What the World Needs Now Is Love. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. Earlier today, I was reading about yet another kid killed and a shot. I mean, it's not just kill, shot. And I thought, it's just like guns. What does the world need now? We just need more This is the United States of America. What do we need? We need more guns. Okay. So I started thinking of that song. And so I had to go cut and paste some lyrics so I could do my Facebook post earlier. And then I'm like, well, Jackie DeShannon. I'm like, dang, I didn't realize. So I thought, you know what? That needs to go in the podcast. So here it is, 6:16, 16 minutes of just rambling, kinetic, vibrant energy just popping out at you through the screen. Why? Maybe because I had some caffeine about 45 minutes ago. Perhaps that's the reason. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Ricky's going to make my Lou Malnati's deep dish pizza that I ordered from Chicago. We're going to eat that tonight. Now, why? Why would I share a Lou Malnati's pizza with Ricky? He can go back to Chicago and get one any damn time. But he doesn't. He doesn't. It's like people who live near the lake in Chicago, Lake Michigan, and I go there and I said, come on, let's go down the lake. And they say, oh, okay. And we get down there, and I swear to you, they say, oh, man, I haven't been here in years. And I'm like, how do you not go to the lakefront when you live in Chicago? That's like living in Tucson, but you never went to the mountain. Or living in LA, but you never went to the ocean. It doesn't make any sense. But I swear to you, happens all the time. All right. I was lucky enough to grow up by the lake. So the lake was never probably when my first 18 years, the lake was probably never more than a mile or 2 miles away from maybe 2-3 miles away from where I live. I could walk it, right? I don't even know where Ricky went. It was very nice, y'all, to say hi to Ricky, by the way. I'll tell him next time he sticks his head in. So back to what I was saying. I sang to you with my gravelly voice, like Tom Waits or Leonard Cohen, right? It can be done. And even if you don't like it, the deal is you didn't pay for it anyway. So you'll forgive me because you'll be like, well, it was short. It was sweet. He's crazy. It's okay. And like I said, you didn't pay anyways. You're getting the whole thing for free. So what are you complaining about? Yeah, yeah. What are you complaining about, man? For God's sakes, the whole thing is free. In fact, you have the option of watching this anytime you want, 24 hours a day. You could do this. This is my gift to you. For God's sakes, I wish you'd appreciate it. Gee, many crickets, cynics, critics, for God's sakes, in my head, not you, in my head, right? These cynics, these critics, always, every freaking day. You don't do a very good job of podcasting. You're not very good at singing. You're not very good at drumming. You're not very good at biking. I mean, for God's sakes, shut up, right? I mean, how many of you have to listen to that in your head? Now, I don't mean the voice in my head, in your head. I'm saying maybe you got one of these voices that just like won't leave you alone for criminy. If I want to sing, why don't you just sing? Let me tell you a story about singing. You ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you okay? I see a couple people have hung up already. All right. So here's the story about singing. How much sugar did you have today? I haven't had any yet. So Becky, thank you for bringing that up. Let me tell you something. We went out yesterday to Handel's Ice Cream, which I really like. And I think it was yesterday or the day before. Anyways, recently. And we bought 3 pints, 3 different. And because of my teethus, I cannot enjoy the ice cream because it hurts. So I was at the dentist again today because they put in the permanent temporary. That doesn't make sense. They didn't take out the temporary. I took out the temporary when I was flossing last night, but I had an appointment at 8 o'clock this morning to get the permanent one put in. And by the way, the thing must have been twice the size it should have been, right? Okay. So they jam it up in there. And she's like, so she wants to work on it. And I'm like, lady, that ain't coming out. So she, it's a little tight. So she said, well, I'm gonna, drill it down or whatever the hell they do. You could tell she's trying to get it out gently, right? And I'm like, that ain't coming out. You need a needle nose pliers, lady, if you're gonna get that out. So she kept trying, she's like, don't be negative. And I'm like, Okay. No, not okay. I tried. All right. So finally she called for some forceps. And she finally got it out and did it, and pull it out. And, ah. Anyways, so I got this tooth. So I said to her, fine, fine, lady, but I tried to eat ice cream, and I think all those fillings you did last week, they hurt, man. By the time I was done eating ice cream, I was in pain. She said, well, you shouldn't be in pain. I said, really? Because I thought that was normal since you just filled these cavities. She said, no, I think maybe your bite is wrong. And maybe when I did your fillings, so here, bite. And they stick that thing in your mouth. Chop down, grind. And then she goes, oh, yeah, yeah. I'm like, I don't want to. But she did. I got home and I tried to eat some ice cream. And I'm here to tell you, she ain't fixed whatever the hell it is. I want my ice cream. The good news is it's frozen. Okay. So given that it's frozen, I can chill. I chill. That's punny, right? Okay, I can chill because it's frozen. I don't have to eat it today. But then if I'm not eating it today, Ricky is, and that means less for me. Now I'm not greedy, and I'm not saying he's not welcome to some of it, but I prefer to be there when it's happening and going down. The dentist probably loves your running commentary. You know, Joan, that may be why she's got me coming back in 2 days, because she said, oh, he needs to come back within 72 hours so I can check and see how that took. And I'm like, oh, so I got to come back again, because I still got some fillings that got to be done. They still got more fillings. Anyways, you don't want to hear about my dental problems. I don't even remember how I got onto dental problems. Caffeine, maybe. But here's what I've discovered. And Chris, you've been with me when I've drank caffeine. I don't drink coffee. I drink, the 5 hours. I don't drink a whole bottle ever, right? Well, it's getting so I drink caffeine effect on me I would like it to have. So I don't think that's what motivates this time. All right. So, let's get real, kids. I was explaining to you something, and I want to finish explaining it to you. All right. So I got this voice in my head, and I thought that everybody must have some voices. You must. I mean, I learned that in meditation. I learned that in life. People have a naysayer. Most people. I don't know what Einstein's may have sounded like. Oh, you're not a good scientist. You're really not that smart at all. I don't know. Do people like that? Did Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Schweitzer, did they people? That's a lot of Jews in there. Did they have these voices that told them, you're not really that good at science, You really shouldn't be coming up with scientific. Well, anyway, so I was going to tell you about singing. So when I was young, I think I told you this story, but I don't care because I still have 15 minutes to kill. So, so the lady at the synagogue, she wouldn't let me sing. And I think I told you that I hired a singing coach. That must be about 20 years ago. I was in my 50s, so it wasn't 20 years ago. Close, though. And, I hired this lady, and she was, I guess you would say she was a professional singing coach. She taught in her house. And so, right away, the first day, we're practicing scales and stuff. And she says, you got perfect pitch. And I'm like, well, let me go kill the lady at the synagogue that told me I had to lip sync because I didn't know how to sing. Excuse me while I go kill the choir teacher. But, I'm pretty sure she was old and dead. So I didn't kill her, but so I took the voice lessons and then, for about 9 months, and I really enjoyed it. I told you before when one of my previous podcasts that the two songs I really was enjoying was Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison and yesterday, Paul McCartney. And I was doing those two songs the most. You picked a song, you worked on it with her, you went away for a week, and then you came back, you sang it for her, and then she talked about where to take a breath and make sure you push from the diaphragm and all that, She was a nice lady. And then I ripped my vocal cord in a bar fight, and that was the end of my singing thing. And she had asked me, she said, what are we getting ready for? And I said, the shower. She said, well, where do you want to perform? And I'm the shower, my car. And she's like, aren't you gonna a venue or something, like a stage? And I'm like, oh hell no, lady. So here it is. 20 years later, I found my stage. It's called Ken Goldberg's Law and Disorder with your host, Ken Goldberg, and your singer, and your joke teller, and whatever the freak else happens, I'm it. Now, if you could zoom in and do your thing, I would welcome it. So if Chris said, hey, man, I know a little song I'd like to sing for you, I would say, well, Chris, let's hear it. But I don't have that. Maybe what we should do someday is use the phone like I did when I interviewed the authors and have you all call in and sing a little ditty. I think that might be fun. Yeah. Hmm? So I'm not saying that Chris would volunteer to sing. Maybe he would volunteer to read a poem. I'm just saying it could be more interactive. I'm just not set up digitally to really do that stuff smoothly. No, not Chris, says Becky. All right. Yeah, I'm sure somebody somewhere is saying, don't let Ken sing. Not a good idea. Um, so the voices in the head are pretty powerful, and they tend to be more negative than positive. You would think with yin and yang, the universe is yin and yang. We know that. So there's soft and there's hard. You would think for all the negative voices that there would be positive voices, so that it would be in some equilibrium, right? No, no. Mostly the voices in my head are, yeah, don't do that. Or, you know what? I can't believe that person said that. You need to smack them, you know. Can't carry a tune with a bucket, says Chris. So Chris will not be calling in. Let me make this announcement now in anticipation of the time when we actually set up this phone, you call in and you do something. We're going to exempt Chris from singing. We're going to let him maybe recite a poem, tell a story, whatever he's good at. We'll find out. I'm sure that some of you can carry a tune. I'll bet some of you actually have been in a choir. Perhaps you sang in church, or you sang in a synagogue, or you sang at school, right? And then some of you, maybe you're just like, you're storytellers, right? In the ancient tradition of oral sharing, where long before there was writing, there was the creation of oral history of storytelling. And we don't know how far back that goes, but clearly with the invention of language, there was also the invention of stories. And that's one of our richest traditions. It's why we now, to this day yet, here it is, 2021, and most of us recognize the beautiful oral traditions of like the American Indian or indigenous tribes that don't write, or the Celtic tradition of storytelling, right? The Irish and the Scots, that whole part of the world, very good at storytelling. And we relish that. We enjoy that. There's nobody here, I warrant, there's nobody here who, when you hear a good story, is not enthralled and enjoying it. And Leonard Cohen became famous, as did Bob Dylan, for being a marginal singer, but great storyteller, right? I don't even know what hallelujah means, by the way. When you listen to the song, I never figured it out. But I can tell you, it's written in such a way that you find yourself listening. Becky can do some Bohemian Rhapsody? Well, that's not an easy song, I'm pretty certain. So we're going to have to get some of that. All right. Bohemian Rhapsody, y'all hear that? I mean, that's a challenging song. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And normally I would know some of the lyrics, but right at this moment, I can't remember any of the lyrics. That kind of makes me sad that my brain is beginning to shrink and my brain is no longer capable of holding important information like the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, it's such a weird song that everybody knows some portion of lyrics, but nobody knows all the lyrics because that's how weird the lyrics are. That even when you think you know it and you start to hear it, you think to yourself, could that really be the lyric? But you sing it anyways because you know the tune, not the Figaro part. And who, speaking of Figaro, Becky, who amongst us has not gone Figaro, 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 Figaro? Who amongst us has not done that? Since you were just a little tyke, you stood somewhere and out in the playground at school during recess or on the way home from school with your friends or sitting in your basement playing games and somebody went Figaro, 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 Figaro. But that's not how it sounds when it's in Bohemian Rhapsody, I know. I'm just saying, flashback to 1962. All right. So, listen, if this was caffeine that had me going, the flip side is the caffeine would be burning off at a very quick rate because the quicker you move, the more your metabolism is shaken, the quicker you are metabolizing whatever it is that's in you and burning it up, whether it's caffeine, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whatever it is, the more movement, the more gesticulating and, like I said, matriculating you're doing, well then, right? So at this point, I'm fairly certain it's not the caffeine, or in the alternative, it's not the caffeine alone. And we're being joined as usual around this time every night by Miss Velvet. She's a wonder. She's getting smaller. She's getting quite old. She does not like the young cats. They mess with her, but she's old enough to mess back. But I'm going to miss Velvet because she's been with me since she was a kitten and she's shrinking. I would assume Joan knows something about shrinking cats since she's entertained so many kittens, but perhaps not. Anyways, doesn't matter. Wouldn't stop my cat from shrinking, wouldn't stop her from aging. Here's something that I'm guaranteeing everybody, all right? Whatever age you are, and I probably promised you this before, but I'm going to promise you again. Whatever age you are today, I promise you, you will never be younger than this again, no matter what your age. So for me, I am 68 in some several months. I will never, and this I can guarantee this, I'm never going to be 67 again. Okay? And if you're 55 right now, here's a truth. This is real, man. I mean, sit down, fasten your seatbelt, put your chakras in the upright position, and lock your tables, your tray table in the forward position. Now, listen to me. You will never be younger than you are now. Not one of you, not nobody. It's funny because I know that some people have made an effort to get younger. Sometimes they do it by chemical induction. I think you need a new black kitten. Lacey will be available tomorrow, says Joan. Joan, I have two more cats besides this one, and Velvet's already agitated about these two younger cats. So while I would love to have a new black kitten, I don't want a new black kitten. I don't even like cleaning the litter every morning for three cats, okay? Much less feeding them and doing everything else that's involved. So I would love to have Lacey, but Lacey ain't coming here. No. Mm-mm. So anyways, I was telling you, there's certain truths, okay? One is that all things are impermanent. Everybody's in some stage of impermanence. We all, right? We're all going to die. We're all going to, but I didn't want you to, and I said, a lot of people are trying to ward it off. They get injections. They take HGH and testosterone. That's an anti-aging formula. They will eat, drink certain things like juices and supplements. I mean, there are all kinds of attempts and methods to warding off aging. But this is Ken's truth. You're never getting any younger. You may act younger, you may look younger, but you're never getting younger. So I can promise you, if you are 60 today, you will never be the same age. You'll never be this young again. Tomorrow, this day will be in the rearview mirror, and you will have been younger today than you are tomorrow. It's just something it's one of the few facts that I believe is based in science that I can share with you, because as you all know, science is not my thing. No. So you say, well, Ken, why are you taking the risk of purporting what really sounds like a scientific formula or a scientific hypothesis or theory? How do you dare to step into that arena with, one, your limited knowledge, your limited education, and your complete disinterest in science? Well, I'm going to explain to you. I don't know how. I just do. It's just like singing an old commercial. I don't know how or why. I just do it. It's kind of spontaneous combustion. Do you all know? Oh, look, there's another second scientific formula I've introduced tonight. None of you expected it. You've rarely heard me offer a scientific hypotheses or conclusions, but there you go. Okay. You never know. You just don't know. I'm shocked that I went out on a limb there and offered you up something that was in the realm of science. But I did, and I'm going to move away from that now, because the hazard is I will overstep, right? All of a sudden I'll be like, well, check me out. I offered up 2 scientific facts today. I'm on a roll. Let me go for a third. No. Stop before I kill. Okay? Just don't leave them wanting more, right? Always leave them wanting more. So I won't offer any more scientific stuff. And that way, maybe tomorrow I'll throw another something out there, but I doubt it, by the way. I mean, I'm too ahead of myself already for tonight, just so we're all clear on that. If I want to offer scientific theories or conclusions or whatever you want to call them, I should probably read something. I should probably Google it first, right? Because when I just shoot from the hip, I could readily be wrong. By the way, this screwdriver is a very small screwdriver. I said I wasn't going to get scientific on you. She blinded me with science. I told you I wasn't, but I want you to see something. I'm fascinated by this. I oftentimes sit here at my desk and play with this magnet. Now, this magnet, there's something in this metal that has the capacity to attract that. I'm going to stop there for 2 reasons. One, I told you I wasn't going to go into any more science tonight. And 2, I have no clue what makes something magnetic. I love it, though, because here's look at that. So whenever I need a screwdriver, I just reach over and I take it off my lamp. All right, it's time to start wrapping it up, because really, I got to tell you, I'm exhausted from all this talk of science. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just exhausting teaching you something about science, teaching you about aging. I forget what the other scientific thing I threw out there today was. If you can remember, would you throw it back at me? But I don't know. But I can tell you that it was exhausting to go into that realm, to try to walk around with listen, I wasn't wearing these. I'm barefoot. Okay? I mean, that's how real this is. I'm talking to you, and my feet are touching the floor. I'm grounded. I am one with the earth. Well, at least with my carpet. And despite that nurturing that I get from my contact with the earth, to uh, to to offer up scientific theories and facts is training. It's absolutely just wipes me out. So I'm done for the night. Rachel can't hear me. My lips are moving, but she can't hear me. Do you all think I should move my lips more so she can read them? Do you think? I mean, what should I do in an attempt to help her hear me? I think if I enunciate, perhaps she will grasp this meta. All right? I bring my hands before my heart. I'm listening to Ricky. He's in the other room on the phone, and he's loud. Becky, yes, I should enunciate. All right, I will. But I'm going to bow my head, close my eyes, take a deep breath. I'm going to relax. And I'm going to think to myself, and I encourage you to do the same thing. May I be happy, healthy, and free from harm, free from anger, anxiety, and fear. May this practice bring me greater peace and comfort in my life. May my parents, my living family, my friends, may they all be happy, healthy, free from all forms of harm, and may they also find a path to pursue that brings them greater peace and comfort. May those persons I find difficult, whatever resentments or ill will I may harbor, for whatever reason, setting aside my righteous indignation, may all these persons be happy, healthy, and free from harm. May all these persons be enjoying their lives in peace and comfort. And may all living beings, wherever they may be, humans and non-humans throughout the universe, be happy, healthy, free from all harm, living their lives in safety, comfort, and peace. Well, thank you, John. That's one of the nicest things you've ever said, right? To me. I mean, you're probably very nice to the kids. Well, thank you, Lisa. Very nice you to wish me a lovely evening. You know, I got to tell you, you guys helped me get through the night. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that in return, I should tell you that Sapatio wiwa jantu saparoko winasatu mate watawatara yosukitika yuko apiwatana silisa witang nitsang mutapata ayuwano sukha patlang satu satu satu. May the blessings of the Buddha follow you this evening and well into the next day until we meet again. Namaste. Thank you, Becky, Kathy, Chris, Lisa, Joan, Rachel, Radine, Mark, Ann, whoever. Thank you. I will. And for those of you on YouTube, I'm sorry you missed out on all this interaction. You're always welcome to join in. All right, kids. Lisa, have a good evening. All y'all, just rock it. Listen to the music. Enjoy.